Good evening and welcome to this week's Strawberry Patch. I have a special guest with me this evening and we're going to be talking to him in just a moment. But as always, I like to give a plug to our sponsor, which has been the Tennerton Auto here in Buchanan. And they do all kinds of things for your car, inspections, wrecker service, tuning it up, whatever you need for your car. And this is about the 5th year that Tennerton Auto has sponsored our Strawberry Patch, so we want to thank them. If you have anything that you need done to your car and you'd like to give them a call, Joe Jeffries is the owner, and you may call him at 304-472-2174. And now on to festival business. I have with me Gary Cannell, who served as past president one time.
1997.
You know, we're getting old, aren't we?
Yeah, I feel old too.
And Gary is working with something brand new this year that we're going to be talking about today, and that is the Spring Street, what we used to call it as the Vendor Alley, and now it's got a new name. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to have down there.
Well, down on the Spring Street lot, for some folks that remember the real old food land, it's now a city parking lot. We in the past were up on the corner and things moved around and got that beautiful park down there, Jawbone, and then we kind of got the vendors moved here, there, and yonder. So we ended up, the vendors ended up down on what we call the Spring Street lot, which is the public parking lot between the Chinese restaurant and the Salvation Army. And a lot of you, we've been there a couple, 2 or 3 years maybe now. But anyway, What we've decided to do is we've redone the electric down there, so it's 100% to code, and we're not going to have any problems with catching a pole on fire or whatever, because when we were down there temporarily, we kind of patched it together to make it work, and it worked, but not like it ought to be. So we worked with Mr. Doss at the city and the Mayor Davidson, and Ron Pugh was at the meeting, and we decided that we would upgrade the facilities, and to do that we had to add some vendors because we had to pay for the maintenance or the upgrade. So in the past we've had somewhere between 13 and 14 vendors, and this year, as we sit here today, opening out on the 14th, we should open with 19 food vendors and it'd be 20 food vendors if you count Zool up on the corner. So you have 20 food vendors, and it ranges from the new people we've got we got a guy that's doing cotton candy and popcorn. We got a lady that's doing Italian croissants. We got a guy that's coming in doing deep fried fish, and then he's also doing pit beef, and we got some other folks that have took over places that, like for example, we lost Keith Carr, who was a valuable member of our crew, but he retired and he's from here in town, and we replaced him with a lady from over in Peterstown, West Virginia, which is down about as far south as you can get around Princeton.
Okay.
So
where are some of these vendors from? Are they from just West Virginia or other states? So we have a lot coming, right?
No, we got them coming from all over. We've got Herb Heath, who's been with us forever, selling sausage. He'll be on the corner. He's from Odessa, Florida. Then we got a guy that's from Greece that comes over here and travels. He travels here 6 months a year. Dimitrik's his name. And a lot of folks have ate with him. He's
been here before,
He's in a tent, yeah. And then we have Matt and the guys that are in the other tent, and they're from down in the Carolinas. I think they're from Charlotte. And then we have a lady that brings us 2 stands out of Ironton, Ohio. Then we have a guy coming out of Bedford, Pennsylvania this year. We have one out of Maryland. So we try to use West Virginia vendors first. We also try to run it on a seniority system. So if you were here last year, you're back this year. We try to keep you somewhat in the same place, but we've had to switch some stuff around. There will be a covered stage down there. We're going to call it the food court. And instead of lining them up in rows, we're going to line them up in a horseshoe. And we're going to start up there by the Chinese restaurant and horseshoe that whole thing around to over there where the Salvation Army is. So theoretically, we're going to be a whole lot wider than we were before. In doing that, we could pick up about 5-6 spaces where we could bring these new folks in. And there's going to be a covered stage. This is the first year that we've had live music all 4 nights.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
and it's free.
And it's real free
for the public.
Well, it's not. Nothing's free. Somebody has to pay for it.
Well, but
the
I mean for the
more,
the folks coming.
The public is more than welcome to come. The first night, we're also gonna have a car cruise in by our friends from here in town, Classic Wheels Car Club. I think.
Absolutely, right.
Isn't that correct? Yeah, but Jerry and those guys are gonna have a car show, and we're gonna try to incorporate it all. So they're gonna close one block of Main Street for the car show, and then we're also going to have the Ryan and the Abels, and the Abels band. They're out of Clarksburg, and they play. They play rockabilly and all kinds of stuff, and they pretty much follow the car shows around, and they do a phenomenal job. We were with them, or I was with them through my business, through another business I'm with, and watched those guys perform with no lights. So I was real impressed with them. So we brought them in.
What time are they going to be there?
They're going to be there from 7 to 10 on Wednesday,
the
14th, and on Thursday the 15th. From 8 to 11, we've got the Stone Street Band. So if anybody was at the Queen's Pageant Queen's Ball last weekend, they played there.
They were good too.
And they're really excited about coming back. And then we have Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran has been all over the world playing. He's out of Nashville. He has the Orange Trail Music Hall, or Orange Blossom Music Hall over in Lost Creek. Well, he's coming over and bringing his band on Friday the 16th, and they'll be live from 9 to midnight. Now, Saturday, we're trying something totally different, something that we've never done before. We're going to offer 2 bands on Saturday.
Okay.
So after the Grand Feature Parade, a lot of folks, they go wherever they go, and then they come back to town for the 9 o'clock band. Well, we're going to run a band from 4 to 8, and then we're going to turn around and run a band from 9 to midnight.
Okay.
You say to me, well, why is there an hour gap? Well, you got to get one band off and the other band on and do a sound check.
And that gives folks time to come down and eat.
Yeah, well, they're already
bands.
there. You're already going to be there. So you have Boyer Drive from Horner, West Virginia, Lewis County, and a young man and his sister, and they will rock the place. We've had them at the Queen's Pageant. I've worked with them at other fairs and festivals through the company I have, Jaws. And then we have Phase 4 Band out of Pittsburgh. Now, this is Dustin Bush, and he's a young man that graduated from Buchanan Upshur High School, West Virginia Wesleyan, and his mother teaches at Wesleyan. And we were very fortunate enough to be able to get him to come into town and bring his band. And he basically told me, he said, we've been to all the other guys in the band's hometowns, and we've yet to be to mine. I said, well, let's bring you to ours. Bring you to yours.
I've known Dustin since he was just a little tiny thing, and I know he's excited about coming back, and so isn't his family.
And he says he's going to rock the place. Well, I know he will from what I've seen and heard through his references and his tapes. So Wednesday we got Ryan Kane and the Abels. Thursday we got the Stone Street Band from Charleston. Ryan and Kane and the Abels is from Clarksburg. You got Johnny Cochran's band and Johnny Cochran with his fiddle from Lost Creek or Elkins, wherever he decides. His business is in Lost Creek, and he lives in Elkins. And then we have Boyer Drive Band, and Boyer Drive Band's out of Horner. And these two, this young brother and sister, have done phenomenal. They got a nice little band behind them, and I think you'll really enjoy them. And then Phase 4 Band, which is Dustin Bush, and his mother, I think, is still living here and teaching at the college.
Oh, both his parents live here. Everybody knows Debbie and Russ Bush.
Yeah.
And that's, Dustin is their son.
Right.
And so that's going to be exciting, and you would encourage folks to come down, of course, and to take in all the food court.
Yeah, let me go through the food court a minute. The food court's going to be open Wednesday from 11 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. Thursday will be open from 11 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. Friday, we go from 11 o'clock to midnight, 11 o'clock at night to midnight. And then Saturday, we go from 11 o'clock to midnight. And folks have always said, how come we can't just get an encore and they stay for 20 minutes or 30 minutes? Well, you know, these bands would love to do that, but we're kind of between a rock and a hard place because we've got a lot of law enforcement that we have to basically help get them here and pay them. And we're on an hour kind of situation. And folks, we've also got to get the streets clean so Sunday morning when you go to church, there's no trash.
Right.
And with that being said, I think we really need, as a board and myself, as the chairman of this, need to thank Mayor Davidson in the city of Buchanan and Michael Doss, who's the city manager, and then all the guys that are on the street department. They do a phenomenal job. A couple years ago, they were the Spirit winner.
Yes, yes, and they deserved it because we talk every time on the Strawberry Patch about how we could not put this festival on without the city of Buchanan's support and West Virginia Wesleyan College. Those two, we use their facilities and their manpower, and we really appreciate what they do for us.
Yeah, I know I could go on and on and on, but the mayor and Michael Doss and the city council have really been over backwards this year to help us try to get this thing where we got some continuity and consistency to it. And I think, folks, I know that you're going to really, really like what we've done in the food court. Now, as you come down Spring Street from Main, you're gonna have Zool on the corner where he's always been, and then you're gonna have the T-shirt guys and some guys selling trinkets or whatever you want to call it. And then we're also very fortunate because we've got like this the asylum from Weston's coming over, and they're going to feature what they've got coming up, and then we've got some we got Upshur County Pregnancy Group is going to be giving away information. So what we try to do is run somewhat public service, somewhat information, and still bring in what I consider one of the best lineups of food that you can find.
Right. Everybody asks us about the carnival. Where is the carnival going to be? So maybe you can shed a light on that.
Let me tell you about the carnival. We're going to basically try to run Strawberry Midway, and for those of you all that have been to major fairs and major festivals, and I'm talking like the West Virginia State Fair, the Minnesota State Fair, the Texas State Fair, everybody has a midway. Well, we've never really had a midway. So we're going to start the midway down the post office side of Spring Street, and we're going to run it all the way down to the railroad tracks past the whistle stop.
So are we talking about rides?
No, we're not. No, we're talking about that's going to be the midway.
Okay.
Now, the rides that Shane Turner with Gamble's is bringing to town, they will be where they've always been.
Okay.
The only difference is where the old vendor alley used to be up on the corner of Spring and Main will probably have the kiddie rides in it.
Oh, that was neat last year, and I want to see those little strawberries blowing around.
Shane and his father Ted and his mother, that own Gamble Amusement, went out and bought those strawberries.
They're just adorable.
Those little that kiddie ride where they spin, and they've used that all over. Where they travel. They travel from the middle of April to the middle of October. As a matter of fact, they just opened this week up in Marshall County, up at Moundsville. But it's got strawberry written on it, Strawberry Festival.
So
we go back with them. Carol, we go back with them probably, way before, I think, we went back with the Gamble family before you were even on the board.
Yes.
So, and we've got a contract with them, I think, for another couple years, and they just do a phenomenal job. And I will say this, that it is ranked one of the safest carnivals in the country.
It is. And they're nice to work with. They're
they're wonderful people. Wonderful people. So if anybody has any questions at all about the food or the entertainment, you can call the Strawberry Festival office at 304-472-9036, or you can contact me. I'm Gary Cannell. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm really excited about it. And like I told the vendors, they kept moving the vendors around. It wasn't due to our fault. It wasn't due to the city fault. It had a lot to do with the way things change is a wonderful thing. But you have to adapt to it.
True.
And I told the vendors that you guys come back this year and we'll show you a real party and a real show, and we'll get a lot of people there. This is the first year we've had 4 nights of live entertainment free.
That's awesome. And we want to let everybody know that's not all that's going on Friday and Saturday night. The street from Main Street to the courthouse will be closed off. The first block from the courthouse to probably the First Community Bank, that will be our Strawberry Idol, and that's a big thing.
That's on
festival.
the courthouse steps. Strawberry Idol will be on the courthouse steps. If you're interested in signing up for Strawberry Idol, you can go on our website, the West Virginia Strawberry Festival website, or call the office. But there is cash money that's given away, and you do have the chance to advance to another competition. Deborah Wilson's running it. So basically, we encourage you to sign up for that, and that's what Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Thursday night at 8:30 is gospel. Friday night is open class at 8:30, and then the finals have been moved to 7 p.m. on Saturday.
And it's over at about 10:30.
10:30 or 11 o'clock. It's sponsored by Natellos, and yes, the winners of the finals will be getting a nice little check from Natellos, and they usually do a big check, not a little check. It's a great big one.
That check is from the Strawberry Festival and Natellos. Natellos is sponsoring it.
Right.
But yeah, we've got to really thank Natellos for coming in there and supporting that. And then, like you say, from First Community Bank, or there where the Lions Club sets up in First Community's parking lot, from there down to the corner of the Midway, which is Spring Street, you'll have, like, I think Danny Williams is coming.
Danny Williams and the jazz band will be there after the parade on Friday. We have Lekatu coming back from France, and were they a crowd pleaser the last time. So they will be entertaining either Friday or Saturday night, or maybe both. There's going to be a little difference with the Party Gras, but it's a Party Gras flavor with lots of cultural events. So we might have someone that's dancing from the Bolivian group. We might have somebody that's from France. We might have someone from Canada. Primetime Brass come and they do jazz music. So there's going to be something for everybody on Main Street or at the Midway, and you have time to do all of it and take in the carnival as well. So I would encourage people maybe to, I've said these little chairs that you fold up that you can put in your trunk of your car. Those will be nice to have.
Soccer mom chairs.
Those will be nice to bring downtown and have them anywhere. Now, are there going to be seats at the Midway, or do they need to bring down chairs?
Down to food courts, you need to bring blankets or chairs.
Okay.
Because it's going to be festival seating. And basically, you could drive by that parking lot. There's some grass down there, and there's also some pavement. But this stage is going to be sitting right there on the sidewalk, facing in, facing toward theoretically facing toward the railroad tracks. So that's where, you got so it'll be behind the food court? No.
Facing it.
Facing the food court. You'll have a horseshoe, the stage will be in the middle.
Okay.
You'll have the Chinese restaurant on one side, Salvation Army on the other.
I'm excited. I think that's going to be a real neat thing for the festival.
We got a lot of work. Michael, I can't leave here without saying that Michael Levesey has come on our board and has really stepped up and helped me with this, because without his help and his support, we would be okay, but we wouldn't be near as far along as what we are.
We want to tell everybody that we do this because we love the public, the festival. We like to bring things to you. But it's a hard job, and we are not paid. Everyone that works with the festival is a volunteer, and it takes more than just the board members. We need other volunteers, and each week we suggest that if you're interested in being a festival volunteer, again, call that festival office number at 304-472-9036, and we'll find something for them to do, won't we?
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you are truly interested in getting involved in the Strawberry Festival, a lot of people say, well, I've never been asked. Well, it's hard to go out and ask everybody to do it. If you're interested in getting involved with the festival, I know the festival board of directors would welcome you with open arms. But the thing we need to do is sometimes in the heat of it all, we forget that we got some new people who want to get involved. And Carol or I, either one, you can approach either one of us, and we'll be glad to help you or tell you how to get involved. And I got involved by selling programs and pulling floats when I moved here almost 40 years ago now, and have gradually got involved and then became president in 97 and then got out of it for a while and then got back in it and have really enjoyed it. But the one thing I can say about it is it's the same today as it was yesterday, and it'll be the same tomorrow. The only thing we hope that is it'll be more organized, which it is organized, and more people involved.
But you can always do better. You don't want to leave anything.
Nothing wrong with what's going on now.
Yeah.
But if we've got people here that people out there that are listening to this and are really interested in maybe getting involved, let us know. Or not maybe getting involved, want to get involved. Let us know. And you may have some idea that we've never thought of. Like this food court. We battled this thing around for a couple of years trying to figure out what we were going to do because we were going to lose these professional vendors. Because when we took them off of Main Street and put them down on the side street,
no lights.
Well, and that's the other thing. That whole area now has dusk to dawn lighting in it.
Isn't that awesome?
And it's going to be like daylight, so we don't have to go out and rent all these portable oil field lights. And the only thing that we got portable anymore is the porta potties. But that.
And you're in charge of those too.
Yeah, we don't want to get into that, but there is hand washing stations.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted those porta potties this year, so they said, well, since most of them are down in your area, they're yours until we find someone to take them. So if there's anybody out there that wants to volunteer,
you could use help with that
look
too.
after the porta potties, let me know.
I've gotten some information on the Band Fest, which has been, in the past, has been the field exhibition, and that is not going to be possible this year because they're going to resurface the field at Wesleyan. So we are going to have a Band Fest, and it will be at the Performing Arts Center on Saturday evening, the 17th.
Inside.
And it'll be inside. And these are some of the folks that we think are coming. United Drum and Bugle Corps from Ontario, Canada. Malekatu is coming back from France. The Corporalis San Simeon Bolivian group may be dancing on the street. They're from Virginia. The Angeles de Puebla marching band is coming from Puebla, Mexico. That's a new one. We've never had them. Marching Cobras is another new group. We're hoping to get them on Main Street too. They're coming from New York. Now this is not like the other Cobra group we had coming, but I tell you what, they're good because I've seen them. Primetime Brass from Rochester, New York, and the Heights Youth Club Brigade. We think they're coming. It's not just exactly a final thing, but they're coming all the way from Jamaica. So in the last years that we've worked with Festival, we've had 42 states represented, many countries, and we're excited about everybody that comes. Even Charlie, the clown that walks on stilts.
Yeah.
Anybody that's local to somebody from another country is welcome to attend the West Virginia Strawberry Festival.
And the thing we have to remember is all of us have been snowed in. School was out for 21 to 25 days in different places. And that's put a real damper on this year's recruitment of high school bands.
True.
I'm talking about all the way to Maine.
Right.
Anything, well, even down in the Carolinas, because these kids have got to make up school and they can't take off instructional days where they could before. So if you look at the situation and say, boy, I'm used to so many high school bands. Well, the bands we have had to make special arrangements because the kids somebody's got to make up the 21 days. Now, this year they don't have to make them up, or they have to, but you know what I'm saying. So the weather had a lot to do with it, and a lot of these groups raised money to come and being snowed in and all the events that were canceled.
One band that I would like to give a salute to is the Morgantown Mohegan Band. They will be our in-state honor band. And they're chosen by the scores from last year's Festival Grand Feature Parade. So they will be involved this year with the Grand Feature Parade, and they're an outstanding group.
And I think that big Cabell Midland band's coming back, too.
We think so, and there are others. We're going to talk a little bit more about who's coming for the Grand Feature Parade maybe next week. It should be a little bit more firm as far as the schedule. But and don't forget, the festival does begin on May the 10th with opening ceremonies at 12 noon at Jawbone, with the Horse and Carriage Parade at 4 p.m. down Strawberry Lane. And remember, there is a change in that route. Instead of coming up by the courthouse due to voting, we had to change that. So the route for the Horse and Carriage Parade will be coming up by Wendy's to the First Community Bank and then making a right-hand turn on Main Street. That's the only one.
Yeah, it brings what they call South Kanawha from Wendy's and Lubin's Lubin's Service all the way up, and turns right there where the Lions Club is. The Lions Club will be open on Saturday, and we'll have some vendors down on the corner. And Larry Western Wear from Pennsboro, who does a big job with the carnival, he has agreed to come since there's a lot of Western, the horse and the carriage. So he's going to be set up on the corner. So yeah, we start the 10th and we rock and roll, and we just pray for good weather and hope for success.
Right. Well, this horse and carriage parade, if the weather is nice that day and it does not rain, we have some really, really different and nice things coming. Don't forget the CEOs will be on Main Street on the 10th selling different things, strawberry items and food, and there'll be open case performances. If you have a group and you like to pick, you like to play guitar, fiddle, whatever, or sing together, we still have a couple openings for that. And don't forget that the coronation will be on the 10th at 7 p.m. at Chapel Hill United Methodist Church. That's going to be a busy day.
Yeah, it sure is. But you know what? It kicks off a great week.
It does. And we're just hoping that everybody will find some time to come to at least one event, but we hope you come to all of them, because many of them are planned free of charge or with a very minimal cost to keep the cost down so everybody can come and have a good time. We are theming this year the old traditions and new beginnings, and of course it's an exciting family tradition that we have every year. So we're just encouraging everybody to put those dates from May the 10th through May the 18th. 18th has got a lot of different sports events, and the Strawberry Gospel Sing will be at 2 o'clock at Wesleyan with the Tacketts from Ohio and Soldiers of the Cross from Buchanan. So those are the things that we're going to be offering you. If you have any questions, you may call the office at 304-472-9036, or you can go onto our website at www.wvstrawberryfestival.com. And we have some things on the website, applications especially for Strawberry Idol and the parades. So it's not too late, I don't think, to get in any of those. I'm talking too fast, Gary.
No,
if we get them in right away. So we just really encourage you to take part in the Strawberry Festival, and we appreciate all the support from our sponsors. We couldn't do it without our sponsors either.
Yeah, that's the real big deal. The last thing I want to say is, if there is any groups in town that are going to sell anything, along the parade route, and it's not in your front yard, even if it's in your front yard, we ask that you call the office so Bob Wines can put you in the book so we know exactly where you are. There is no fee for in Upshur County people.
This is non-profit.
Non-profit. There is no fee. We waived all fees for non-profit. We have the LPN ladies from Ed Eberly. They're going to be parking cars at the Progressive Bank. We got the wrestling team from Buchanan Upshur in the middle school. I think they're parking cars someplace else. So, there's going to be a lot of kids out. The one thing we ask you, be careful.
I appreciate
But let us know if you are going to set up. We're not going to shut you down, but we need to know where you are.
And if they're in front of somebody's business or in somebody's yard, they need to get permission from them.
They have written permission.
Written permission from them. So we've just got all things going on, different for all ages, and we encourage you to put those dates on your calendar. And I thank you for coming this evening, Gary. We've worked together for a long time.
For many a year.
Okay, we thank you, and that's all the time we have this evening. Again, thank you to Tennerton Auto right here in Tennerton for being our sponsor. And I'm sure you'll see something go across the bottom of the screen with the Tennerton Auto. So we thank them for our sponsorship, and we thank all the other sponsors that are helping us with other events. And if you happen to be at an event, you see a title there, sponsored by, give them a thank you and tell them how much you enjoyed what they have sponsored. So till next week, this is Carol Long. We'll see you then. Have a nice evening.